Yodi, with this one right here and everything else coming into it, especially with the 3x3 Drilla, A.F.G, the whole thing, the A.F.G, you got A.F.G with 3x3 Drilla, especially with the Drilla, the 3x3, especially what they come in, especially how they coming in, and them having the whole thing, like they be having back to back, things, especially with the A.F.G. But you got A.F.G, especially with the whole, the 3x3 and the A.F.G's coming into it, especially with the A.F.G. But you got the 3x3, especially with the 3x3s, who's knowing how they really coming, how they, promoting. But you got the A.F.G's and, with the 3x3.
Hero.
Shout out my booty to
I keep Jimmy's a nut.
You got famous off TikTok, we got known we ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, he in my brunch. You live by the gun, no you don't. We telling them shoot when we know they won't. My boss get killer the other. Got famous off TikTok, we got known we ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, he in my brunch. You live by the gun, no you don't. We telling them shoot when we know they won't.
Oh, you live by the gun, no you don't. And then he putting the whole consider into it, like he's basically saying, something they don't do, something they don't do.
My boss get killer the other two. You ain't no shoes, the fuck are you? They having a party, we coming through. Should've wore a bulletproof weave. Just got hit with a heat. Should've banged geese and the rest of them quicker their feet. Got chopped and shit, got drilled too. My nigga that's get back crew. Got slayed and sold it. Like bands gotta be on the move. I don't need you all, nigga, fuck you. Weave. Why you in my... You got famous off TikTok, we got known we ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, he in my brunch. You live by the gun, no you don't. We telling them shoot when we know they won't. My boss get killer the other two. You ain't no shoes, the fuck are you? They having a party, we coming through. Should've wore a bulletproof weave. Just got hit with a heat. Should've banged geese. You ain't no shoes, the fuck are you? They having a party, we coming through. Should've wore a bulletproof weave. Just got hit.
Ooh, what he says, it happens in the party, then we coming through, you should've wear the vest and the whole thing, like, hey, with the whole thing coming into it, especially with the whole thing, he said, came into the party, if it's in the party, then we coming through, and the whole other, elements, like he said, should've wear a vest, because it was getting real scary and real elevated.
With a heat, should've banged geese and the rest of them quicker their feet. Got chopped and shit, got drilled too. My nigga that's get back crew. Got slayed and sold it. Like bands gotta be on the move. I don't need you all, nigga, fuck you pay me. Of course they hate me, or really they rate me. I tell her come fuck with the A.F.Gs. Now she just wanna bring all her friends. I tell her come down to the ends, but one eye that put him in a Benz. But it still got act like we don't their friends. Like we don't their what? I'm sliding, trust me, find them. When we do, guarantee I'ma buy them. All this talk of the net got my niggas outside trying to find them. He got hit on the lurk, I told you my niggas don't get him. And these hoes can talk what they want, but when we buck up, what they gon' get is wet and chef them. No tolerance, just left it. No bro, love Drilla shit too. Ask me, bro, we like that tearing too. Got hit these legs when trying, you can ask the ops, it's more than fine. I ain't on their blood, then I'm more than slime. I burn that bitch, trust me, it's time. No rhyming. More than fine, I ain't on their blood, then I'm more than slime. I burn that bitch, trust me, it's time. No rhyming.
We burn that bridge, it's perfect. Hey, it's timing and everything else. Like, hey, how they say, when they do those little purging stuff, especially when it comes to, them assignments, like it's all about the timing, different times when you're gonna do a certain, lick, especially when it comes to those, them timings and the procedures. Like you're gonna go hit a procedure, like they say, it's, you gotta time it, you gotta know what you do, you gotta be in and out, like I said. But a lot of the people, they be scoping it out too, and all that other stuff. But with the time and the reflection, it just comes from all kinds of shows.
Got bills of TikTok, got known to ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, he in my brunch. You live by the gun, no you don't. We tell them shit when we know they won't. My boss get killer the other two. You ain't gonna shoot the fuck up. You got bills of TikTok, we got known to ride on blocks. All that talk ain't 2K new to us. I'm smoking your boy in my runs. You live by the gun, no you don't. You telling them shoot when we know they won't. My bros get killed the other two. You ain't gonna choose the fuck are you. Hey,
Ooh, my boy didn't drill up the other day. My boy didn't drill up the other two, and then the whole thing like, hey, you coming back to back, and the whole thing like, hey, this is Philly Killies.
no you don't. You telling them shoot when we know they won't. My bros get killed the other two. You ain't gonna choose the fuck are you. Hey, ask me this. What drills have you done for your strip? You took it like you wanna go, but you as a whole, you ain't even beat off a goal. I'm up in the H and I send him to Allah. Bro had my man screaming, Walla. Free tiny, Mr. Watt get charged up. Go up, block up, blast off. Claw off. Niggas talk, but they ain't discharging. If we gon' make, but they ain't discharging. Dead on the mortgage. I'm rolling, no postponing. He got hit in the moment and thought my mouse is boning. Got whacked, got crashed. Don't know when to stop with this splash. Don't know when to stop with this war. Spread my man's blood on the mains like Flora. When I decided to explore like Dora. Big trip, Bora.
Oh, big drip, Bora. Oh, I thought I said the other word, you know, Dora, but hey, Bora, like shoots the whole thing, like even this whole thing, like it's coming in crazy static. Like this one got a static to it, like it's static everywhere where you can keep on with them, you know, them cheat-ons.
Got crashed, don't know when to stop with this splash. Don't know when to stop with this war. Spread my man's blood on the mains like Flora. When I decided to explore like Dora. Big trip, Bora. You got famous off TikTok. We got known we ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, you in my branch. You live by the gun, no you don't. You telling them shoot when we know they won't. My bros get killed the other two. You ain't no choose the fuck are you. You got famous off TikTok. We got known we ride on blocks. All that talk ain't new to us. I'm smoking your boy, you in my branch. You live by the gun, no you don't. You telling them shoot when we know they won't. My bros get killed the other two. You ain't no choose the fuck are you. Fuck is this, man?
Hey, shout out to JV, you know, JV for the whole thing, but everything else. But just with the A.F.G and the whole thing, you know, especially with Drilla, 3x3. But shout out to the, you know, just the JV, you know, the JV entertainment, like, you know, with the whole thing coming into it. But you got the A.F.G, especially with this one, because they, you know, it was a static, you know, especially with Drilla, like Drilla coming into it and him, you know, just giving us his whole thing, you know, he just went expression, like he just gave us his whole thing, like he was just killing minds and everything else, like the way the whole thing was coming and everything else. But you got the 3x3 A.F.G, you know, especially with this one right here. I didn't even see this one coming. Like this one just came in, and you know he just, you know, plotted it. He said like Dorda Explorer, you know, Blorda and Corda and everything else. Like he was putting the whole thing. But make sure you guys definitely, you know, tune in with this one and everything else. But make sure you guys definitely like, subscribe, comment, everything else, and you know, just with this whole thing, and corroboration and everything else. But you know, with the whole elaboration and the whole, you know, just this one.